Hello, welcome to Better Business Podcast. My name is Alexi. And before I jump into this episode, I thought I'd just ask you something. We find that around 80% of people that listen to my podcast don't end up liking or subscribing to anything. And I know that obviously everyone's busy, but this would mean a lot to us. So if you could please spend a minute, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that would really make a big difference for us. Anyway, let's go. Today, I want to chat to you about AI chatbots. Now, obviously, this is a huge topic, and I think a lot of businesses are still not really using it. And when it comes to small businesses, there are some very distinct areas where these bots can really be applied quite well. Now, every time I talk to people about AI and I, look into what people are actually doing, everyone still thinks, look, it's cute, it's okay. Some people use it for content writing or potentially emails and stuff, but people don't really use it as much when it comes to like full solution to a particular problem. And I think the key here is to fragment the problem down to a particular defined problem that you can actually isolate it specifically using AI. So, for example, things like repetitive tasks can really be automated with things like AI, and there's quite a few different platforms there. Missed opportunities when it comes to things like lead generation, especially through social media, is definitely worth talking about, and we'll cover that today. And I think overall, lead reactivation, that is one thing that I find a lot of businesses have done really well using AI chatbots, and even prior to it, with some simple conditional logic, you could really do quite well. Now, let's dive into all this. So first of all, let's talk about the repetitive tasks. So when it comes to businesses, a lot of the time, it's all about answering those FAQs, simple process of booking appointments. If your obviously business is simple enough, potentially booking a quote and extracting that key information and providing 24/7. All that can really be done by an AI chatbot. There is a good platform to have a look at, which is called Chaindesk. That is one that is relatively easy to set up. And they've got various data sets that you can potentially feed into, whether it's your SOPs or your sales process or something else. I definitely recommend you should check it out, because this essentially allows you to create a live chat feature driven by a chatbot on your website, which answers a whole bunch of different questions. And I think, if you understand the repetition in your business, if you're able to come up with a document based on that repetitive, set of processes, then you can definitely set this up quite easily. Go high level is one thing that we like to use. This is a bit more sophisticated. And in fact, this is actually a full on CRM with some really cool integrations behind the whole thing. We like using that because you can actually work with existing databases, feed that into high level, and then utilize email marketing as well as chatbots, as well as WhatsApp integrations and SMS integration. The whole thing is huge. If you haven't had a look at it, I've added the link below for you to check it out. But essentially, you need a platform that allows you to drive that. And I think if you're able to take away, at least 10% of your repetitive tasks, I guarantee you that will make your day so much better. So really, the goal here is to free up yourself if you're a sole operator, or free up your staff in the areas where they really make a lot of mistakes. One thing that my team's done quite well over last year is set up automation in relation to Gmail and creating automated responses. Now, this sounds like rocket science, but it's really not. You're able to feed your way of communicating to tools like ChatGPT and have your emails pre-written, ready to be sent. And that's exactly what we've done. So based on that, information that we've gathered over the years, my staff have been able to set this up so every time they walk, to their desk in the morning, they're able to see pre-written responses to the emails that have been sent to them. And this has really allowed us to save a lot of time. Look, you can make a few extra tweaks, you can add a few things, or you can just hit send, and most of the time that really solves the problem. Automations like this can really free up a lot of your time, and most importantly, help you grow your business, because by eliminating communication issues, then you're able to go so much further. So let's talk now about things like, missed opportunities. Now, I hear a lot of people, especially that use social media advertising, particularly Meta, always complain to me about the whole lead quality where it comes to, getting those leads and then trying to get through to them. And then you just can't reach those people. And this typically happens a lot with things like lead gen forms, where people fill out a form, and it's very time sensitive. If you're able to enable any automations, you do a lot better. But if you change the whole process to a chatbot to really maintain a better conversation with that lead as it comes in, you're able to extract so much more information to it. So try this. As opposed to getting them to fill out a form, try to do a conversation through your messenger. And look, once again, Chain Desk or High Level could be the platform to use. I'm sure there's plenty of others that you can look into. But the whole idea is to really simulate a whole customer service conversation that would flow as a sequence of steps, as opposed to asking people, give me your name, email, phone number. Just really understand what they're after. And then to get more information about the whole thing, ask them qualifying questions. Okay, where are you located? So, for example, if you're doing this for builder, or let's say a roofing company, then you can very easily turn the conversation into providing a quote or booking a quote by gathering the information like address in order to be able to provide a quote based on the size of their roof. And prior to it, you can even ask them about, what's the size of your roof? Most people wouldn't know. Okay, so please give me your address in order to be able to calculate that for you. So you can do a lot of things like that, but it comes down to the actual logic, the flow to the whole thing. And please don't get overwhelmed, because this stuff can really get quite interesting, but you want to make sure that the person inquiring gets the right feedback from that particular conversation. And then from there, if you know how to integrate things within systems like High Level, then you should be able to easily set up your appointment setting to the whole thing as well based on your availability. Really, really cool stuff. Can really save you a lot of time, and I think it can make your campaigns in Meta a lot more efficient. So if you haven't done that, please check it out. Now, let's talk about things like lead reactivation. So I find that a lot of businesses like pest controllers or businesses that do a lot of repetitive stuff like, electricians, for example, they don't really do much advertising to their past database. And the whole thing here is a lot of services are quite cyclical, especially when it comes to, home services. Pest control, for example, ideally needs to be done every year. And unless obviously the person is not happy, then it'll be difficult to get them back. But otherwise, there's no reason why they wouldn't proceed with your services again. So what you can actually do is implement a recipe where you can survey people right after the job that has been done and ask them for a review. That can be automated. And then obviously, as the time comes, you can then reach out to them to get them back for that repeat appointment. Now, what's more interesting is that I find a lot of people leave money on the table by only doing this to the past customers. They don't do this to the inquiries. But imagine this: if someone's making an inquiry about pest control, for example, and doesn't end up choosing your company, within 6 months or a year's time, whatever the service interval is, you still got an opportunity to sell to the customer again. So there's a really good gem there in terms of you being able to focus on an inquiry based on the timing when it's right. I've picked this up from one market in the UK who does a lot of stuff with financial planners and insurance companies, where the whole thing's reviewed every single year. And essentially, those companies want to get new inquiries all the time, but they forget about the fact that there is a cycle connected to each one of those leads. So that's lead reactivation for you. I'm sure there's a few more ways to get this done. And look, you can take this whole process a lot further. I know a lot of the gyms have implemented AI where the system can actually rebook those people into new appointments and even charge them as well. So you can actually take it completely to another level. But I recommend that you do this one step at a time so you can test out the actual system before you start automating everything. Trying to automate everything, in my experience, has not worked very well. In fact, people spend thousands of dollars on trying to do this and then end up with a lot of missed opportunities and unhappy customers. Make sure you get this done one step at a time. And if easier, fragment the entire process into bits and pieces as to how you can actually address it. So for example, when it comes to lead qualifying, which was going to be my next step, the whole lead gen is about lead coming in, then qualifying, then potentially selling, and then doing the follow-up. So if you can address each one of those steps one at a time and try to automate that using AI chatbots, you can do a lot better as opposed to doing the whole thing itself. So look, AI is a huge topic. I think chatbots are going to be more and more used. We see that Suncorp and Amy insurance companies have already enabled those on their website in order for you to be able to renew your policy or cancel it. It's connected to the customer base. So I'm sure if you got a CRM in your business, you could do something like that as well. If you don't, have a look at High Level. It can do a lot of things like that, and there's a lot of information on High Level as to what you can actually implement as well. Plenty of systems out there, guys. Make sure you don't get overwhelmed, because just jumping from one system to another sometimes blows my mind. But at the end of the day, my advice to you is to break down the complex processes into smaller chunks and see if you can automate them one bit at a time. And if you're able to save time or potentially get better leads or potentially save money or do all of the above, then that's a win. And essentially, that's what this is all about. Chatbots, I think in 2025 will progress a lot more. You will find that chatbots have already progressed a lot further in Europe, and a lot of people are using things like WhatsApp chatbots, for example. Yes, you can plug in chatbots into just about anything: WhatsApp, Messenger, SMS, and I think a lot of the time you may not even know that you're doing you're running a conversation with a chatbot. You can also do cross-platform as well. Send out an email, follow up through other channels. The only prerequisite for the whole thing, once again, is the platform that it all sits on, and then you should be able to do cross-platform using other systems. I'm pretty sure HubSpot can do something like that. But look, if you haven't got a CRM, I think high level, once again, is definitely worth checking out. It is quite an interesting system. It's been around for a few years. And I think it can really allow you to change the flow within your business and get a lot of efficiency. Anyway, my name is Alexei. Please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. Happy to share more stuff with you. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. And I hope I'll speak to you soon.